A seed library is a collection of seeds that patrons can borrow with the hope that they will bring back seeds from their mature plants. Our seed libraries consist of packets with a varying number of seeds and include fruits, vegetables, herbs, and flowers. By saving seeds and exchanging them, you help add to the sustainability of our community. You will also grow plants that are more pest resistant, save money on your food budget, and know where your food is coming from. Seeds are free to library patrons. We do limit the number of packets you can take to 5 a day. Our initial seeds came from donations from seed companies, but the collection is maintained by our patrons who bring back seeds they have cultivated. Instructions for donating seeds can be found at our website at www.madl.org/seed_library or by calling a seed library branch. The Montague and North Muskegon branches both offer seed libraries, but patrons can also order seeds online and have them sent to any MADL branch. Instructions will be given with each seed packet, and now I'm going to show you how to get started planting some seeds. We're going to start by gathering our materials. Here I have some egg cartons. These ones work really well. You can reuse them for this purpose. I wouldn't use styrofoam or plastic ones because the water won't drain, so you end up drowning your seeds. So we have some of these, we have some water, I have scissors, and I have a Sharpie pen, and then some plastic wrap, and I have a bucket and some soil. Whatever soil you use is totally up to you. They do have seed starting potting mixes, which help because they have a lot of nutrients in them. So we're going to start by taking off the top of this egg carton. So just cut it right off. And then you can also cut this little flap off as well. And what we're going to do is actually use the top to go underneath to help create another water barrier for when you water them. Then we're going to go ahead and take some of this potting mix. And when you get potting mix, you'll notice that the bag is really light and it's for shipping purposes, and so it's easier to carry. But by doing that, taking all the moisture out, it makes the soil become hydrophobic, so it doesn't like water. So that's why we're going to wet it down a little bit first and mix it around, because when you try to do it in your seed tray, it'll probably just sit on the top, and you don't want that. So we're just going to add a little bit of water. You can kind of see the water is still separate from the soil under there, and that's what I mean about it being hydrophobic. So we're going to take our hand, just mix it up, get it all in there. And you want, when it's done, to be able to squish your hand and it'll stay together in like little balls. So we're going to add just a little bit more. Okay, and give that another good mix. Okay, so now it's doing what we want it to do, which is great. So we're going to just take some of this and put it in our tray. You're going to end up making a mess. Don't worry about it. And we're not going to tamp down on the soil right now, because then we won't be able to have room for our seeds. This is a messy job. Okay, so once we get that in there like this, you can either use a pen, or I prefer to use my fingers. We're going to poke holes for our seeds to go in. So just push your fingers down like this. And you can see I've made little wells for our seeds. So next you're going to take your seeds, which will come in a nice little seed packet like this. And I actually have some right here. I'm going to use dill. Now there's a bunch of different sizes of seeds, so I'm going to show you 2 different ways to actually seed plants. So dill seeds are big enough that you really can go in and separate them out one by one. And you're just going to drop them right into your little well. And it doesn't have to be just one, because sometimes seeds don't survive when they're being cultivated. So you can put a couple extra in there if you want, and then you'll just separate them out later when you go to transplant them. So now that I have my seeds in my little well, what I'm going to do is just take my hand and run it right down, and that closes up all our little holes. And then we'll give it just a little bit more water, because you want to make sure that your seeds stay moist, but you don't want them to drown. So there's that. Then what I like to do is create the greenhouse effect with the seeds. So you're going to take some plastic wrap, And you're gonna tear off a sheet and you're gonna put it over the top and tuck it under a little bit. And then this will help your seeds stay moist so you don't have to water them quite as often. And it also keeps it warmer in there. So you'll want to poke just a couple holes, not too many, just so that it doesn't get too crazy hot in there. Then you're going to want to put this in indirect sunlight and check the moisture on it, make sure that you're watering it pretty regularly. And then once your seeds get to be about an inch or two tall, when their first true leaves, is when you're going to want to transplant them. And that can be done either in a larger pot, or if you're going to do patio plants, or you can do it right into the ground. And then I'm going to show you how to do broadcast seeding now. It's a little bit different because some seeds are so small. So we're going to do what we did before. Just take off the top, and we're going to take off the bottom. And we already have some of our soil mixed up there with the water, so we don't need to worry about that. And also, what's great about these is you can take a marker, and if you don't want 12 of the same plant, you can go ahead and mark, put a little line, this side is this and this side is this. And then you can keep an eye on them. So for broadcast seeding, I'm going to show you, this is alyssum, which is an annual flower. It's a pretty small flower, but if you look, the seeds are so tiny. There's no way you're going to want to sit there and pull each one out. So what we're going to do is take some of our soil, probably need a little bit more for this. Okay. Take that and we're going to mix it around, add a little bit more water. So we got that nice consistency again. Forming up into balls. So now we're going to go ahead and put it in like we did before. Okay, so we got those all set, and this time instead of doing the little wells, we're going to just tamp it down a little bit so that we have some room at the top. And you want to have about 2 handfuls of soil in here. So I'm going to put a little bit more and get the water going. So now those little tiny seeds, what we're going to do is take them, we're going to put them right into the soil. And then we're going to mix them around. Hopefully we're going to get it all spread out in there so that not all of them end up in one place, but then you don't have to separate them all out. It's called broadcast seeding. And then once they get larger, the plants, you can separate them out very gently by pulling them apart. Or like alyssum, it forms a nice carpet and they're really small and you kind of want them to be clumped up together. So then we'll just take this and we'll just put that. Hopefully once we got it all mixed up, we should have seeds in theory in every single well. So I'll just do that. And then again, we're going to give it a little bit of water. And we're going to cover it with our saran wrap. Oops. Those ones got a little full, but they should be fine. And always pay attention to the seeds that you get, because the packet and the instructions are going to be slightly different for each one. So we'll just cover that guy up, maybe, and poke some holes. And these guys are all set to go. Indirect sunlight, keep them watered. And what I was talking about with the seeds is, here is a sensitive plant seed, and the directions say you have to soak it in water for 20 minutes before you plant it. So that's why it's important to pay attention to what the seed information actually says. Thank you, happy planting.